Hey guys, this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade leaders for the first week of May. We have a new theme for the month, and it's source code, untangle the web. And our life app for this month is honesty, choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. So this week our story comes from 2 Kings, and it's about Naaman and Elisha's servant, and I do not know how to say the servant's name, so we're just going to pretend. And our bottom line is, when you are not truthful, you lose trust. And what a great bottom line. That's such an important thing to know for our kids. Their new memory verse for the month is, anyone who lives without blame walks safely, but anyone who takes a crooked path will get caught. Proverbs 10:9. So let's hop over to our activities for the week. First of all, when you get here at 8:30 and 10:30, please take a few minutes to just pray for your small group. Pray that they would understand the value in keeping the trust of others, and just pray that they would understand the connection between telling the truth and having other people's trust. So then when kids start to roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, ask them to join your circle, ask about their week. Make sure you know all their names, and definitely make any first-time guests feel as welcome as possible. And then your little icebreaker question is, ask your small group if they've ever lost something important to them. So what did they lose, how did they lose it, and was it ever found again? Then at 9 and 11, you're going to do an interactivity called Web of Lies. So what you're going to do is you're going to have several long pieces of yarn that are all of these colors. And you're going to have your kids get in a circle and maybe have them like spread their arms out to the side so that there's about a foot in between each of your kids as they make a circle. It says in here that if you have more than 8 kids, to split your group up into 2, because otherwise your circle is just going to be too big. And then just make sure that each circle gets the same color yarn. So what you're going to do is you'll have like a 1-foot piece of all these colors of yarn. And so you're going to put a blue piece in between 2 kids, an orange piece in between 2, a yellow piece in between 2, a red piece, a purple piece. And then they're going to pick up the ends of the yarn so that way they form a circle out of yarn. And there'll be a different color in between each kid. And then what you'll do is you're going to have a plastic cup that has those colors in it, blue, orange, yellow, red, and purple. And you'll pull a color out of the plastic cup, and whoever's turn it is first has to step over that color yarn. So kind of like Twister, but then they're tangling up in a web. So instead of stepping on a dot, they're going to step over some yarn. And the rest of the group has to kind of shift as they need it. So if they have to step across the circle, then the rest of the circle has to kind of move in. And then the next kid will go and you'll pull out another color. And if you say yellow, they have to step over the yellow. And so eventually they're going to have a huge web. And if you have enough time, they can try to untangle themselves out of the web. So you're just going to say, wow, you guys created a life-sized masterpiece. And as fun as that game was, it definitely became a tangled mess. Well, today in Large Group, we're going to learn about what we tend to do in our own lives that can make an even bigger web of mess than what you guys just made here with your yarn. Then you'll head across the hall to the large group room. Definitely sit with your group, have them sit together in a circle, help them to worship and listen to the story. And then when you get back to your room at 9:40 and 11:40, you're going to play a game called The Team Who Cried Lies. So in the front of your folder, you have a page that says truth and a page that says lie. So what you're going to do is you are going to put those, you can use painter's tape that's on your cart and hang it on the wall by where you're at. Or you can just put it on the floor or on the table that's by your small group. And then you're going to split your small group into 2 teams and have them form 2 lines and stand 10 or 15 feet away from your papers. And then the first person in each line is going to get a fly swatter. And you're going to read one of these statements below, and the first kid in each line has to decide whether it's a true statement from the story or a lie. And as soon as you finish asking the question, they have to wait till you're done. They can't go before. Then the first kid in each line is going to race with their fly swatter and swat either truth or lie. And the first person who swats the correct answer wins. So then their team gets a point. And then kids give the fly swatter to the next person in line. And you're just going to keep going until every question has been asked. And there's all your questions there. And they all say truth or lie at the end. And you're just going to close that activity out by saying, so you guys were really paying attention to the story today. Great job. So maybe before you go in, you might want to tell them, hey, make sure you pay attention today because we're going to be playing a game about the story later. So what did you guys think was the worst part of Ghazi's, I'm not sure how to say the name, choice? Ghazi ended up making a pretty bad choice and not telling the truth. And in the end, he lost Elisha's trust. And I know I can sure relate. So maybe make it personal and tell about a time when you were dishonest and you lost someone's trust in you. And then just, guys, remember, no matter what you're facing, it's never worth losing someone's trust, because when you're not truthful, you lose trust. So then for the memory verse review, you're going to need your Bibles, and you're going to have a poster board. On the back of the poster board, it will say like second grade girls first service, second grade girls second service, because you're going to reuse these poster boards every week this month. And then you'll just need your markers. So you're going to help your group look up the memory verse together out of your Bibles. And then you're going to split kids up into pairs and have them practice the memory verse with the motions together in their pairs. And then while they're divided, you're going to assign each pair a word or a phrase from the verse, and they're going to write that word or phrase on the poster board. So then pull out the poster board, and in the correct order of the verse, give each pair a turn to write their part on there. And then the pairs who aren't writing, they can gather in a circle around the board, and they can kind of decorate the poster board however they'd like with their markers. And once the verse is completely written, challenge your group to say the verse together, and then you guys are going to save those memory verse poster boards because we're going to use them the rest of the month. So then you will just close that part by saying, I love how you guys work together to make this work of art for our memory verse. And each week we're going to add something to our poster as we learn about honesty. So what's something you guys have learned today about being truthful? And hopefully they give you different answers. And those are all great things. So no matter what we learn this month or what we face throughout our days, remember that the start of honesty is understanding that when you're not truthful, you lose trust. So then here's some optional small group discussion questions if you want to sit and chat with your group about those. Why should you be honest? Why is it important for people to trust you? And if no one is watching, why is it important to be honest if no one knows? Those are great questions to talk about with your small group. And then as you close in prayer, just ask your few, why is it sometimes hard to be truthful? And then let kids share, and then just close in prayer. You can use this little prayer guide below. And as adults come, make sure that you give each kid their parent cue and memory verse card for the month, and just greet them. And guys, I just want to tell you, thank you so much for serving throughout this whole school year. This is the last month for our 4th graders, and just thank you for being the most wonderful small group leaders ever. I will not see you again this Sunday, but hopefully I will be back the second Sunday in May, and I will see you then, and hopefully you guys can all meet Miss Lola. Thank you so much for serving, and we'll see you soon.